Good morning, it is January 21st and I'm finally getting around to my January garden tour. Probably didn't get around to it because we had some cold weather and a lot of stuff is dead, so there's not a whole lot to look at. Look at a lot of dead stuff actually. But we've had a little bit of a reprieve in the weather. It's getting up to about 60 the last couple days. So let's look at the garden and see what's going on. Here are my sugar peas, snow peas. You can see the cold weather did them in. The blackberries. My hoop house has the cover off. I took a picture of it last month and it was looking wonderful, but I don't know if the cold weather got them or when I put the plastic on it got too hot. But my lettuce just sort of, most of it died. There's still some holding on. I don't know if it'll recover. The spinach is still looking pretty good though. The lesson is I need to eat my lettuce when it's ready. I need to be eating it more. The kale is a little bit damaged, but it looks like it'll be growing back. The arugula doesn't like the cold, but I think it will recover if I keep it protected and we don't get down in the 10 degrees anymore this winter. So there's the hoop house. And I do have spinach growing though in a few spots in here. Spinach seems like it's doing well. Okay, there's the raspberries in dormancy. I've got some onions that I planted from onion like bulbs, so those are good to pull up and just eat them like spring onions, I guess. Here's what arugula looks like if it's not in the hoop house. It's not like the freezing temperatures. There's a bed of kale here that is doing well, not even in the hoop house. I mean, there's some damage on some of the leaves, but not too bad. I planted these onions in the fall, and they're clumping onions. Kind of will keep growing new onions, and you just leave them in the ground. I guess they're called clumping, or if I think of the right name or other name, I'll write it down below. Here's my Swiss chard, which has been growing a long time, and it's pretty much dead from the cold too. The parsley made it through this cold snap. Here's an old kale. That plant's probably 1.5 years old, and I just never pulled it up. Here's some lettuce and mustard greens that some of the greens have not done too well with cold, but there's other lettuce greens that are holding on. And I got some cilantro. It's not really growing a whole lot, but it's hanging in there. My Jerusalem artichokes I still have not harvested. But if I wanted to, I could come out here and get some for supper. Or breakfast. In fact, I'll take a little one and eat it now. So yeah, I need to harvest them soon before they start sprouting in the spring. I put a row of onion sets in here. Couple rows. Here's the garlic. Looks like it's a little stunted from the cold, but it's got a good start going. Not a whole lot else. More cilantro. I took the tomatoes out and planted some kale in where the tomatoes were. Looks like kale and cilantro. Now this kale that I had out here in a row, you can see the cold really took its toll on that. I covered my strawberries up with wood chips and some horse manure, like Paul, who has the Back to Eden gardening method, and supposedly the strong strawberries will come through and it'll make a nice strong patch. So we'll see how that happens. I mean, there's some poking through. So I think it'll work. I planted some Brussels sprouts, maybe a little late. So I don't know if they're gonna make it to the spring or not. And my broccoli, I also did not harvest as soon as I should have, because the severe cold was hard on that. But the plant is still alive and putting off little offshoots that I think these plants are still going to recover from. But we'll see. So that's about it. Hopefully February we'll have things growing a little more if we don't get too cold. The long range forecast didn't call for it to be too cold, but we will see. So it's a new year. I didn't say this is 2015 January, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching, and keep on growing. There's the puppy. There he is. Hey, you. You're not a puppy.